Louisiana Beer Reviews Hop Knot India Pale Ale West Coast Style IPA. They say it is 6.7% alcohol. It's hoppy and citrusy. Their website is listing it. It's from Four Peaks in Arizona, Tempe, Arizona. They're listing it at 47 IBUs, which seems low for a West Coast. At 6.7 seemed like a West Coast would come in around 57 IBUs, but they got some pretty old video reviews for this one. I'm going to check and see if they mention the number, just to see if it possibly changed and was lowered. They use Bravo, Cascade, Glacier, Liberty, and Simcoe hops. And they say they add them at various stages, so it's not all just put in together. And they, it says contains wheat. I don't know what it is with this brewery adding wheat to every beer so far. Strange. Good date on the can. Thank you, Mo, for sending this to me. Mo sent it. I couldn't have gotten it because they don't sell their beers in Louisiana. So that hasn't changed. I wish it would. And for many others also. Beer Advocate's given it 88 out of 100, so they think it's very good. Rape Beer's got it at 90 out of 100 and a 93 in the style, so they love it. Untapped's giving it a 75, which would be like an 85 on Beer Advocate. So they're saying it's good, a B. So I've never had it. This is it. First time. Let's see. I wanted to cut the grass today. It needs to be cut, but it's been rainy. You can see it's very overcast, and I think it's going to rain again, so it's not looking too promising. It can wait, but I don't like it to wait. I like to keep it trimmed, cut. But I don't know. Edged it yesterday. We'll see. Time will tell. Takes about 1 hour to cut. From the putting in the gasoline, cutting it, sweeping up the clippings. That's about 1 hour. Yeah, usually, maybe a little bit longer. Pretty thick, off-white head. The appearance is golden, orange golden. It's semi-transparent, bubbly. I think it's going to keep lacing, especially with that wheat. The wheat makes it sort of like beers, kind of like cream of wheat. They get clumpy a little bit in the head. Citrusy, yeah, I would say that from the hops. What else do they say? Citrusy and what? Hoppy. I would say I would call it citrusy hoppiness. Nothing like pine oil or that kind of thing. And some sweet white bread crust. This hair. Okay. Taste. Cheers. This beer was introduced in 2003. Alright, at least it's living up to the 47 bitterness units. It's coming across pretty bitter. It might build, so maybe, well, not maybe. So they know more than me. There's no maybe about that. The brewing company knows a lot more than I do. So they felt like they needed to make it this way. So far, I'm being convinced. As a counterpoint, Goose Island at 5.9 is 55 bitterness units. Medium body. I'll say 3.5 out of 5 hop combs, 3.5 out of 5, but I wouldn't go lower than that. So it could be higher, but I wouldn't go lower. Sweetness, it's got some. 2.5 out of 5 sugar cubes. 2.5 out of 5 sugar cubes. So it's semi-sweet. finish is mostly dry. So I'm favoring rate beers. I was finally able to check in on Rate Beer again. For months I ignored their website because you couldn't log in. It was it was an ongoing problem for like 2 or 3 years. You could not log in, or you kind of could if you'd use this backdoor thing. I didn't trust all that. So, but it worked today. I said, oh well. And we'll see what happens. So, if I have trouble again, I'm just going to ignore them, like I have been ignoring, like they don't exist. But I'm inclined to go with them at the 90 out of 100 level. I think it is excellent. I don't know about the 93, because it's a little on the bland side. It's getting into excellent, but it's like I said with that whiskey, Chivas Regal 12. Excellent, but it was a little bland. Like, it didn't have a whole lot of excitement. It was well made, you know, it was solid all the way, but it was like, yeah, I had this bottle. I went through the tastings on it, and it was gone, and I'm not buying it again. I have the 13-year age rye cask, whatever that's called right now. It's a little more flavorful. This one is like it's probably because it's mass appeal for Arizona, and they don't want to make it too bitter or strong or bold, so they kind of milding it down, which is not a problem if it's a big seller and people like it. Hey, and a 90 is not a problem, right? 9 out of 10 is a high score, so there's some kind of bug or a fly perched on the view, whatever you call it, the view, the little TV screen that you can watch yourself. And I think it's planning to attack this beer. It smells it. So not super resinous, a little citrusy, flavorful, but not super flavorful. But it's, and I did the Kilt Lifter. I had other beers called Kilt Lifter. I knew I had it. I was like, didn't I have this before? But it was Pike Brewing Kilt Lifter from up there in Seattle, which was great. Then there was another company I had Kilt Lifter from them. I don't remember the company's name. They're not as well known. And then so apparently you can't trademark that name. You could trademark Four Peaks Kilt Lifter, but not just Kilt Lifter. Okay, but whatever, fine. I gave it a B, and then I felt like the score was too low after I was sipping on it, and I said I'm gonna go up to B+, and that could even go higher, I think, because these scores are subject to change. Sometimes if you sip on a beer, you're thinking about it, you say, no, it's got more to it than I said, but it's too late, the camera's off, and I'll write the review. But I always write reviews for these so you could go back and see what I said about it. Usually it reflects what I'm saying on camera, and then I'll read other people's reviews and see if what I said matches with what they're saying, and typically it does. So like I'll talk about bread crust, and other people will say that, or I'll say, what's this lemoniness, and other people say lemony. So that makes me feel like I'm on the right track. But I don't read the reviews first. I read them last. I don't want to be influenced by them. I read the scores just because it's something to discuss. So, yeah, 90 out of 100. Getting into excellent. Not the greatest thing, but I'm glad I got to try it. And so thank you, Mo. I believe the one with the highest score so far was the Wow Wheat. It was like a 93. A most excellent beer. Wow Wheat. Bad Birdie, it was fine. That flavored ale. Wow Wheat flavor with orange peel. Kind of like a Blue Moon, but it's like a better type of Blue Moon or Shock Top. And I don't even like wheat beers. I don't want to drink. I got one more can left. I have to drink it one day. And then a beer that's more for me is the Kilt Lifter, which I like. And I like this one. So there's one left. It's a 5 variety pack. Usually these variety packs be 4, but this was 3 times 5. It's a 15 pack. That's a good idea. 3 times 5, 15 pack. 5 different varieties, 3 times. So I could do a solo review, then do a dual review with my friend David, and then follow it up a 3rd time with maybe like on the anti-war, my other alternative channel, anti-war, or more likely bring it into, say, like a Super Sunday where we try different products Sunday morning at 10:30 Eastern, Super Sunday, or a Wednesday, like a Wild Card Wednesday, a Joker's Wild Wednesday, what we call that, Joker's Wild Wednesday, where you can bring anything. Do that the first Wednesday of the month if we're available. So that'd be something to showcase. So anyway, 9 out of 10, and I'm going to end this review by saying laissez-les, bon temps relais, and y'all go to Arizona and take a Four Peaks brewery tour.